Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka the Hamburger Pimp, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka the sleeper who has awoken.
There we go. That must be a reference to us recording at midnight. But anyway, but yeah, we're back with another episode, and we want to thank our sponsors. This show is sponsored by Blockbuster, uh, Reddit. Guys, do your thing. Yeah, so we're just gonna jump into it. Like I said, it's not a whole lot to happen this week, but we're just gonna just jump into it and see what we got. Eli, I know you about to share the link, so I'm gonna just hit some high points real quick. Want to say rest
All
in
right.
peace to Cicely Tyson. Yeah, because this just
Oh
happened.
yes.
What, like a couple days ago, yesterday, something like that. It was like real
Yeah.
quick when it happened. Because the funny thing about the whole Cicely Tyson, she was our Betty White. We just thought she was just gonna live forever. She was like 96 or something like that. So then when it happened, we were like, oh damn, it finally happened. That kind of, especially when Betty White hit 99, last week, still going strong.
Yes.
So we were like, damn. So yeah, rest in peace. Oh, matter of fact, Cicely Tyson, even though I trash Tyler Perry movies all the time, she did play in the one Tyler Perry movie I do like, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which is pretty much every Tyler Perry movie he makes after that. But she was awesome in it. So, and she was in Roots also. If you were around in the 70s, if you went in Roots, you need to get a new agent. So yeah. So rest in peace to Sister Tyson. Not to say not last too long on that. Also, rest in peace to Cloris Leachman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like I said, she's been a whole lot of stuff also. So, Eli, do you know anything that she was in?
Mary Tyler Moore. She's been on
Mm-hmm.
like oh shit. Like wasn't she like in Beverly Hillbillies, the movie and shit? And
She was in that. She played not
yeah, she
Elaine.
played in a lot of shit. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
since this is a nerd show, she also played in this Wonder Woman.
Oh,
She was the
damn.
original Hippolyta.
No shit. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
yeah. I was watching the pilot because I was watching Wonder Woman, Linda Carter on DC Universe, for research purposes. And then I looked up like, is that Cloris Leachman? Like, damn, okay. But yeah. So yeah, rest in peace everybody. Let's move on to the next one we got here. Oh shit. Not to the bad news.
The bad
Anyway,
news.
yeah. So now let's talk about this movie. Eli, here's the thing. Now there's this thing going on where HBO pretty much said HBO Max is gonna have all their movies on the same, released in the theaters at the same time as HBO Max.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the first one they were doing was, of course, Wonder Woman 84. But this is the second movie they have going on. So the second movie they have going on is The Little Things. It is a Denzel Washington, Mally Remick, I think is what his name is, and Jared Leto starring vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like it was supposed to be just in theaters alone, but then they decided to just release it in theaters and whatever at the same time as this next movie. So I'm like, since it's on, I can watch it at home, I will watch it. Yeah, Eli, man, this movie sucked.
Oh yeah. What's it about,
Yeah,
anyways?
I don't know. I
Love
fell
story?
asleep. No. Okay, here's the thing. I actually did, like, I fell asleep, but I woke up and they were pretty much talking about the same shit they said when I fell asleep. So, what the movie is about, some girl dies, these two cops try to look for the guy, and they think it's Jared Leto. And it may or may not be
It's
him.
a murder mystery.
It's a murder mystery. That's what it is. But it's a
Okay.
slow murder mystery. It's like nothing happens. There are no car chases. There are no death scenes and like that. Other than there's like a action, well, not an action scene, but like a suspense thriller scene at the very opening, which had me. I'm like, okay, we got a movie, and then nothing happens until the very end. And then when the movie ends, just like that's it. Okay, so
Uh,
yeah, it was.
so should I watch it?
No, fuck no. Nobody watched this movie. Nobody. Now I
Yeah.
know we saying that we have slow attention spans. We watch stuff like WandaVision, like I just don't get it too slow. No, this shit is slow. This is a slow
Yeah.
ass movie.
Yeah. Let's not watch any of Warner Brothers movies at all this year. Come on,
Right.
Reddit. Let's take out Warner Brothers is next.
Set your sights.
Meme
Oh,
stock, Warner Brothers, motherfucker.
right. That's what it's going to. So yeah, this is insane. Now this is like a really, really slow movie. It's not that it was confusing, not that I didn't understand it. I just didn't care about anything that was happening. I was just like, this shit is boring as hell. And you expect Denzel to like deliver like a good performance no matter what. He
Mhm.
was boring in this movie. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, Jared Leto was weird, but it was just like, yeah, I just got to see that he was just weird, just for no reason. So it's like, I don't need to see this. This is stupid. So
Yeah.
yeah, rating 1.5 out of 5. Man, don't watch this movie. I don't know it.
1.5.
1.5. Well, I'm good because there was some good cinematography every now and then, and it was this one interrogation scene where Denzel actually woke me up out of my sleep for like a split second. Then I went back to sleep afterwards. So that's where the 0.5 came from.
I want those cops that took that
Right.
money out of my pocket.
Like, why can't we get that, man? This is, I don't know, man. Denzel really seemed like he didn't want to be there. He's like, man, just give me the check. Let's go. Here's the thing. This movie, I really feel like that if Denzel's name wasn't attached to it, it wouldn't have got made. It just would have been just a thing. Nobody would have cared. I
It's
wouldn't have
not a
watched it.
bestseller or nothing. I don't even. I
No,
never
it's
even.
just a. You know what? It's 7. It wants to be 7,
Oh,
but it's not 7. So
well, 7 was dope. I don't
7 was dope. This ain't 7, but it wants to be 7.
know. Okay.
So that's what I feel about that. All right, so you're up on this one. I just threw
Oh.
this in there.
Oh yeah, I saw a movie. I watched a
Yeah,
movie or watched a
give us a
movie.
palate cleanser.
Saw a movie from the comfort of my home. Yeah, this was on Netflix. Brand new Netflix movie called Finding Ohana. It is basically a family film where these kids, they're like native Hawaiian. From they're Hawaiian. That's their ancestry. They're from Hawaii, but they live in New York City, and they end up going to their grandfather's house in Hawaii for the summer, and then they discover buried a map to buried treasure, and then they try to go find the buried treasure. So it's basically
It's
like the
Goonies.
Goonies. It's
Yeah.
basically the Goonies with a native Hawaiian native twist, and that's what interested me. It is. They go on it deals with the history of Hawaii and the colonization of Hawaii and the Spanish that were came to colonize the Hawaiian Islands and then burying treasure inside caves, like tombs that were meant for Hawaiian ancestors and stuff. So it deals with like Hawaiian heritage and the kids connecting back to their traditional ways. And that's what I found interesting. There's all kinds of cool, booby traps. Actually, Ki Hai Kwan, the kid who played Data and Short Round.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's not a kid anymore.
No, he's not a kid no more. He actually
Right.
went to Hong Kong and made a bunch of kung fu movies.
What, the Finding Ohana?
Yeah.
So last night.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Nice.
yeah.
So Jen,
Yeah,
Jen get the recommendation. So
yeah, it's fun. It's basically Goonies for the modern age, and yeah, what I really related to was me. Yeah, hey, I grew up in the cities all my life. Yeah, reminded us of Goonies. I grew up in the cities, and I wasn't aware of my native heritage till like high school, and that's basically what these kids they grew up in New York, and then they go back to Hawaii and meet their grandfather, and he tells them all about their their traditional ways, and it's about reconnecting to their heritage. That was the main theme. So, but it was just a fun, wholesome family flick. Adventure. They're going through caves and setting off booby traps and stuff like that. So yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. It was fun.
that's pretty fun. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the callers. Let's see. What you got for me, Jen? Let's see. Yeah, the fact she knew Spanish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
growing up in New York City, she knew Spanish but didn't know her Hawaiian language.
Wow. And she was native in the movie?
Yeah. And she,
Wow.
well, yeah, or Hawaiian Samoan. Well, yeah, indigenous. Yeah, we do claim Hawaiian as Samoans as indigenous people.
Jason Momoa,
Yeah. Jason Momoa is Hawaiian. So
So,
yeah, it was fun. I dug it.
It was everything. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, touching, and it was touching too. It was a touching
Like
family,
a family movie.
Family movie. Their dad there's a subplot where their dad died, and they're sort of mending family healing. That's another theme of the movie. Finding Ohana means family, and it's about mending the family, healing the family, and also reconnecting to your traditional native roots. So that's kind of the theme of the movie. So it was cool.
Okay. No, I cried.
She
Did
cried.
you cry, Eli? Did you,
I did not know. I wasn't that. Yeah, I
no,
wasn't
no
hard
cutting
enough yet.
onions in there.
No, I'm a little too aggro for that. But no, it didn't get me. But
It
I was
wasn't
moved though.
that mellow. Okay.
I was moved. I did find it moving. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, we're gonna do our weekly rating. I guess we're gonna make it a thing. We're gonna talk about WandaVision. I guess.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, before we do it, did you see it?
I did see it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, I don't want to just sit and just talk to myself about it. So yeah, so we got a chance to look at WandaVision. Basically, this was because the episode what we interrupt this program, and it basically told you everything. Like I said,
Yeah.
this is supposed to be a big mystery. We weren't supposed to know what's going on. They just basically gave you a dump of everything. We know what Wanda's doing, what Geraldine was doing, what her real name was, who she really is, who her mom is, what the organization is, Darcy, Jimmy Woo, he knows magic. They gave you everything. So people can stop bitching and stop complaining. They confused, don't know what the hell is going on. You know. And just so, oh, well, if you haven't seen it, it's...
Are we going to spoil it?
Well,
yeah.
we're going to spoil it then.
We're going to spoil it. Go la
we're
la
gonna
la
spoil
la
it,
la la.
yeah, put your finger in your ear or something. So, yeah, so, like I said, this is a thing, like the movie, it felt like it's boots to the ground's MCU. Because it gave us the first time what it looked like after the blip, the unsnapping or whatever you want to call it. Even though they did it in Spider-Man, but nobody gives a fuck about that. We're talking about in this, where, where we actually feel like real people were feeling the ramifications of, some people didn't make it back from the blip because maybe something happened to them, or they just got depressed because they said half the people in SWORD didn't even want to come back. This is, they're saying 3 weeks after the snapping, or the unsnapping, or whatever you want to call it. So...
Yeah.
So it was crazy. Yeah, he just did. We just did what? No. Okay. Anyway, we did.
I think you spoiled it.
I think I did spoil it. Sorry. We gave you 48 hours. So we're gonna go into it.
That's 5 years in internet time.
Exactly. This show would be old by then. This won't get any clicks in 48 hours from now. So yeah, but like I said, they gave you all this episode. Like I said, we haven't seen Darcy in 10 years. She is a astrophysicist now. She got her doctorate. So growth. Jimmy Woo knows magic now, or at least a little magic trick that he learned from Scott Lang. So that's pretty cool. Oh. Yeah, like I said, LeDron, it basically tells you everything you need to. Eli, were you shocked about everything? Were you surprised, or how you feel about it?
Pretty much just, we knew what was happening. We kind of had a feeling this is where it was going, but yeah, this kind of confirmed, our theories of what was going on. This was a pocket dimension Wanda created, and she's in some sort of mourning or whatever. She's
right. She's holding people hostage because they found the people.
Yeah, she's grieving. She's grieving something. Probably the death of Vision. And the death, she's grieving. And then but we said, a couple weeks ago that this is probably based on House of M, and that's what she did in that comic. She created this alternate universe,
her own reality, because the X-Men and Avengers were about to kill her. They were like, she's too powerful. Let's get rid of her. So she just made her own pocket reality. But in that one, she took over the whole world. And this one, she just got this whole neighborhood, and that's it,
Yeah.
And even when Vision's saying, like, Wanda, we can leave, and you see tears coming out of her eyes, like, no, we can't. Because if she leaves, the outside world sucks. Her boyfriend's gone. Her brother's dead. Hell, in Civil War, Tony said they was about to ship her out of the United States. She's not even a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
But Tony was trying to get her a visa, so she might have to leave the country. With all the shit that's going on.
Go back to Sokovia. Well, she can't go back to Sokovia.
Well, she can't go. Well, she'd be a refugee. She'd be a refugee, so technically she couldn't go anywhere.
So I'm sure there's some sort of, fucking.
The Avengers blow up your country, or Ultron blow up your country.
Some kind of NATO prison somewhere that they would put.
Right.
Or the what they call it, the raft or whatever, or some shit. I mean,
she was there. She broke out. So
yeah, I don't know.
So.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was, this episode answered everything.
But here's my thing, Eli. Do you think they should have done that?
I don't know. Like I watched Legion, and Legion was challenging, but it was still intriguing. And they didn't answer really much. They kept you in the dark through most of every season. They would, every season had its own self-contained story and chapter,
Hmm.
and they revealed all that stuff with every season, but you still had to wonder what's real and what's not real, because this was all in his head, you know, because of the character Legion and the nature of his what he can do and
Right.
his
So it
abilities.
was ambiguous on purpose, left to
Yeah,
interpretation on purpose.
yeah,
Do you think the typical MCU fan or the Marvel fan that had been watching 23 or 25 of these movies would have the patience to wait for
yeah,
that?
yeah. I don't know. I mean, everyone were kind of on the fence with these first few episodes. They didn't know what was
Right.
going on. People were like, "What the fuck is this? This is lame." Blah blah blah. So maybe it is a good thing that they like, here you go. Here's your answers before you stop watching this shit.
Right. Because I mean, I can understand some nuggets, some tidbit. They were just like, here,
Yeah,
go, there you go, everything, check all the boxes. That's it. It's
yeah. And now that I think
because I
about it, it's
wasn't
like,
expecting all of those answers already.
yeah, I'm like, well, what are they gonna do now? Where can they go from here now?
Right. They'll
Yeah,
figure something out because you got like 5 more episodes, something like that. So they'll figure something out. But yeah, I think they had to do that big info dump right there because you know what's funny about it? Because you had Darcy and you had Jimmy Woo, and they were just as confused as the people watching the show. Like
yeah,
all the same questions they were asking the people that were watching the show. Like, what are the hexagons are for? Why is Vision still alive? What is this? They asked all these questions. So it's funny because Marvel already made the show. The show is done.
hmm,
So they're already asking questions on the show that's already been done, predicting what their fans were going to ask.
yeah.
So
They're
they
us.
know their core audience just that well, just that accurate.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. They're
almost kind of
watching.
scary.
They were watching along with us. It's very meta.
That's kind of scary though. That
We're
Marvel
watching.
pretty much predicted everything that the fans gonna do, exactly when they were going to do it. We're just lab
Yeah.
rats. That's all.
Yeah. Well, some of them didn't even make it past the first episode.
Right. I don't know what's going on. I hate
Fuck
it.
this
Like,
shit.
man, just
Yeah.
calm down. Just wait. Oh, it's good now. It's good because they gave y'all answers that we kind of already knew before. You ain't even really got to be a comic book fan to be honest with you. If you just would just paid attention,
Yeah.
they kind of spelled the shit out for you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to read it, House of M, or Vision's graphic novel, volume 1, and nothing like that. You just pay attention. They pretty much spell the shit out for you.
Yeah.
But people can't.
But I've seen
And
some comments like online are saying, "Hey, they're wondering about the show, so they're going back and watching through the Avengers movies." And I'm like,
like,
okay,
why?
there's only like 3 of them that they're actually in. So
Right. What, you gonna watch Age of Ultron like 3 times?
yeah, okay, I'm starting with Iron Man. Like they don't
They
show up
not
for
in
like
that.
10.
They don't even reference on this.
Yeah, they don't show up for like 10 movies,
Right. They're
and then
just
they
gonna just
disappear
rewatch
for
everything.
another 10.
It is funny when you watch the end of the movie, and the end of every episode, they give a link to Age of Ultron. If you don't watch it on TV,
Yeah,
computer,
that's
stuff
like
like that.
next. You may be interested in this. That's like what pops up after you on the
Right. Then
Disney
that
app.
makes you go down the rabbit hole if you don't know these shows.
That's how they get you. That's
Right.
Marvel.
Right. But that's the whole thing. That's why they're doing these shows like that. They're dropping them one at a time because they want you to get invested into each episode. Just like Wanda is invested in her life, they want you to get invested in her life. They don't want you to just hear about it, or they want you to live it just like she is. Because the funny thing is, like what Darcy and Jimmy Woo was hinting at, is that there's actually way more episodes that we haven't seen. We just only seen like 2 or 3. They've seen all this stuff.
Yeah,
They know all the characters. There's a whole season, basically.
yeah. No, I
Yeah, so
dug how what do you think?
yeah, that's what we're talking about now.
I'm
Polaris.
digging it.
Yeah, we're digging.
Yeah.
We're not one of
Thanks for
those. Oh,
listening.
it's
Yeah, we're
finally
digging it.
getting good now. Oh, let's finally get it. No, it's pretty much what I thought it was gonna be. It's following
Yeah.
the plan. Only thing is that it's just I wasn't expecting just that much info. I thought it was gonna give us a little bit and spread some more out. But they was like, nah, we know these fans have short attention spans, so let's just give them the shit now before we lose them. We already went one too many episodes as he is. So
I did like that. Going into Monica's life and how she was blipped for 5 years and then she came back and she was but her mother died. But while she was gone, I thought that was,
right, because she
you
thought
know,
she beat the cancer. She did, and then
yeah.
when she got blipped out 3 years afterwards, then she died. I was like, man, that's
Yeah,
messed
I
up.
thought that was really interesting, and that reminded me of like Aliens and Ripley's daughter dying while she was out in space for 58
Was my
years or
favorite
whatever.
character. You think
Yeah,
it'd be Polaris, but okay.
No, she's pretty powerful. You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We haven't even seen like where they're finally starting to hint at what she can really do.
Yeah, and if people paid attention, she, like we said a couple weeks ago, Wanda almost single-handedly defeated Thanos in
Right.
Endgame.
Thanos had to like wipe out half his own fleet just to get her ass off of
Yeah.
him. Because I mean, think about it. Because he had this big ass sword. Because Cap got this vibranium shield that's supposed to be unbreakable. Thanos broke his shield with that unbreakable sword from space, and then Wanda broke that shit like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So that'll tell you how powerful she is, and then that's just scratching the surface of what she can really do. So she's gonna get even more powerful than that as it goes along. So
Yeah, she's always kind of creating. She's always kind of fucking shit up.
that and that's the rumor I want to say that people are thinking, like, we know she's gonna be in Doctor Strange 2, right?
Okay.
Some people are thinking she might be the villain of Doctor Strange 2.
Oh. Ooh.
Maybe. Yeah, not that
That would be
cameo.
cool.
Like, yeah, that's so
Like,
that,
he has
that
to
would be
fix
something.
what she does. It's something she does that she has to fix.
Right.
Or he has
Or
to fix.
like her kids. Like her kids might carry on
Oh.
through Doctor Strange 2. And Doctor Strange like, Wanda, fix this shit. And she's like, nah, because if I fix this shit, I lose my kids.
Well, well, if we go by the comics, isn't her kids like got something to do with Mephisto?
Right,
Like,
right. That's what I'm saying. So, like I said, we don't know if how the MCU is going to handle Mephisto, or maybe like he's just this, incorporeal figure that just manifests his way through my. Because that would be the lamest thing at the end if they say, "Oh, the devil made me do it," somebody control me. That's just lame. That just means that Wanda can't hold herself accountable for the bullshit she's doing, holding these people hostage, brainwashing them.
But
Who knows what the fuck she did with
in
Vision.
House of M doesn't Mephisto kill her kids or something? Because weren't they?
Well, no, they were never real. They were never real.
Yeah, but didn't she use Mephisto's soul or something to
Right. She
create
used
them?
his soul to make him real, and then eventually he took his kids back.
Yeah.
And then the Avengers like mind wiped her to make her forget the kids, and she remembered the kids anyway. No, it was like, you know how Monica Rambeau like said some shit about Ultron, and she's like, "What'd you say?" That's what Watts did about her kids.
Yeah.
Like, remember your kids, Wanda? She like, what the fuck you say? And then she just went fucking nuts and just killed half the Avengers. And then went after the X-Men. So Wanda is scary when she wants to be. So, but like I said, that's comic shit. I guess we are here for that. We're a comic book show, so. But let's move on past it. Let's go past it. Like I said, I'm excited for the next episode. Let's see how it goes. Eli, we finally have confirmation. Of this shit. And so let's get to this. So we have the Zack Snyder cut. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the Zack Snyder cut is finally going to be released. They said Zack Snyder said it's in the can. It's finished. The Snyder cut actually exists now. Not some bullshit from 2018. The Snyder cut is real. No, the Snyder cut is real. It is real right now, and it's going to be released on HBO Max March 18th, 2021. Now, people have been asking me about it. I guess it's starting to get some buzz right now. What is the Snyder cut? What it is? So I'm going to remind everybody what the Snyder cut is. Like I said, remember the Justice League movie from 2017, the one you hated, the one everybody hated. They're making a 4-hour version of that movie you hated for HBO Max. So prepare yourself. Empty your bladder before you sit down and watch this shit, or watch it while you're taking the shit on the phone. Do whatever you want to do.
On your phone while you're taking a shit.
Right, because it's going to be a long time you're going to be watching this movie. It is not going to be a mini series. It is not going to be like WandaVision where it's a show every week. No, they dropping the shit. Boom, that's it. No bathroom breaks, no nothing. You just got to pause it on your own. That's what's going on. Of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff that wasn't in the first movie. Zack Snyder added a bunch of stuff, added a bunch of CGI, added a bunch of new scenes. This thing he actually dropped today. He dropped this today on Vero or Twitter or whatever the hell. Now, you see there's a war coming, right? But look who's quoting it.
Is that Martian?
That's not Martian Manhunt.
Okay, I was about to say, what the fuck did Zack Snyder do to
right. Like, he really just fucked this movie all the way up. No, we'll see this shit show when it comes out. But I'll show it one more time. That's Cyborg in the picture, because that's from the original trailer. In the original trailer, like, Cyborg like made his whole, like when he was flying, he made his whole face cover so like that. So that's Cyborg actually flying. But Martian Manhunter was saying there's a war coming, which Martian Manhunter was nowhere mentioned. Matter of fact, even when I think the movie first being made, it was saying he wasn't going to be in the movie at all. Remember that the black soldier general in Man of Steel, or whatever?
Shit. I don't
Oh,
know.
whatever. He's Martian Manhunter. He's
Okay.
Martian Manhunter. Yeah. So that's what they're saying.
That dude from was he in one of the Matrix movies?
Yeah.
Like
I
the
think,
General Locke?
2 and
That dude?
3. Yeah,
okay,
Locke
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
Jada Pickett's Entanglement or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was him. All right, so he's gonna be Martian Manhunter, and I'm pretty sure he's just gonna show up for like 5 seconds. He'll probably just say that one line, and the movie goes off, and the fans are gonna go all crazy all over again, ask for Justice League 2. So Zack Snyder knows what he's doing. We act like he don't know what he's doing, but he knows. The Snyder Cut, he knows what he's doing. He's gonna finagle this way into making another movie of this, you know. And like I said, this is also
coming out in March. I thought
coming out in March. Not only that,
I thought it was going to be like we were going to have to wait like another year or so for it.
Right, like November. Nah, it's coming out next month. Because right now it's February, so it comes out next month. But here's the thing. Also,
sweet, we can get this shit out of the way.
And just stop talking about it and just be done with this shit.
We can be done with
Snyder
this shit next month.
Right. Reddit guys, get on this shit. Shut down Zack Snyder after this shit is over with.
No more Zack Snyder. No more what the fuck Josh Whedon eating everybody's babies. No,
right. Get rid of all of them. Ray Fisher, let it all go. Kill it if you have to. Let the past die. Now, one more thing I want to say now, because when does Godzilla vs. King Kong come out?
Shit, soon, right? Like in May or something, or March?
No.
March, right?
It comes out in March also.
Mortal Kombat comes out
in May.
That's May. I'm getting them mixed up.
So Godzilla vs. Kong and Justice League both drop in March. I don't know which one comes first and the other, but they both drop in March. So we're gonna have a busy March. Right now, February is gonna be some shit, but March is going to be a busy thing. Now, after thinking about Godzilla vs. Kong, Eli, because like I said, when it dropped last week, I was just like, whatever, I don't care. But I sat there and thought about it. And this is what I want from a Godzilla vs. Kong movie. Okay, so what I don't want is a what if Godzilla and Kong were in the real world type movie. Don't give me that. I don't want this shit. I just want a big dinosaur and a big ass monkey beating the shit out of each other for 90 minutes. That's all. I don't want to think. Don't do any of that stuff. I don't want to know what the implications of a big giant monkey and a dinosaur would be in the real world and how it would affect the economy, and the climate change. None of that shit. Big monkey, big dinosaur, throwing buildings at each other, throwing people at each other. I don't care.
Eating people.
Eating people. Give me all that shit. I want all of it.
So, that's what I would like. But
that's all. And people are like, and I know Eli, you want the lore, you want the mythology.
No, I want what you want. I want minimal humans in this movie.
That's all we want, man. It's so easy. It's so easy. That's all I can do. You know why I said that? Because I actually watched like a YouTube clip of like one of those old Godzilla movies. No, Godzilla vs. Kong. That's what I saw. An old YouTube clip of Godzilla vs. Kong. And they knew what the fuck to do. They would just beat the shit out of each other. That's all. It was no thing. And it was like some crazy ass mind scientist was controlling Godzilla or Kong. He just wanted to make them fight just for no fucking reason. I was just do that.
Yeah. And it's weird because it seems like there's more hype. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or people are just fucking bored, but it seems like there's more hype for this movie than the last Godzilla movie. And
now, okay, did you like the last Godzilla movie?
No.
Okay, all right.
That's why
I came this close to watching it.
That's why I'm on the fence with this one. It's like, sure, I would love to see King Kong and Godzilla beat the shit out of each other, but the last movie had King Ghidorah, had Rodan, had Mothra, had all the greats, and it was still kind of So I'm like, oh, now I'm on the fence. I was like, well, if it's anything like the last movie, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Or if the movie before that movie.
Or I will. The only thing that's keeping me interested is I thought Kong Skull Island was cool, and that was just like monster battle every 5 minutes. So,
but I don't think that guy has anything to do with this movie.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like if they just give us what we want, big giant monsters beating the shit out of each other and devastating, humanity and civilization and shit, That's all. That's all. You know. So we'll see.
Oh,
And
another
I
thing.
don't.
I don't want them to pick. I know they're doing this where they're trying to make Godzilla the bad guy. I really don't want a bad guy. I want to go in like, who's gonna win? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
sure,
don't know.
like everyone's saying, this whole Mecha Godzilla thing is there, so that's probably what it is. They're gonna team up at the end and beat the shit out of Mecha Godzilla.
You know what? I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
A
Shit, bring
metal
back fucking
robot cyborg dinosaur. How can
yeah,
you be mad at that?
yeah. I want to see Gigan come fucking yeah. I want all that shit, you know. But I have no faith in these
Hollywood.
the Hollywood version of Godzilla. Hollywood
Right.
has not been good with Godzilla.
All right, Eli, let's go to it. Because this one, like I said, I'm not well versed into this.
Okay.
I'm glad you told me this is your
Is
wheelhouse.
this some Star Wars shit? Oh no.
No. sorry to burst your bubble, but nah. We're gonna talk about this.
This is the video game section.
Just the video game. I had to squeeze it in some kind of way.
I
was
suppose it is video game news.
It is video games, so we can talk about it. So
Yeah.
what's going on? So I'm gonna talk about it as best I can, Eli, and you kind of fill in the blanks or guide me where I need to go on this one because, like I said, everybody knows about this whole GameStop thing that is going on right now. GameStop and Wall Street had this big war going on. Basically what happened, this actually like started like last podcast we're doing, like the day before the podcast we're doing when this thing was breaking. Because, okay, remember that movie The Big Short?
I never saw that.
You never saw that? I
No.
saw it, had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. It was like anime with no subtitles. This shit was just gibberish to
I
me.
have seen The Wolf of Wall Street though.
Wolf of Wall Street was awesome.
Yeah.
But people are comparing this to Wolf of Wall Street, but it's actually similar to The Big Short. Because basically what happened, I'm learning about.
They're talking about short selling, yeah.
They're talking about short selling also, because what they're saying is that basically Wall Street is trying to tank GameStop. They're trying to tank them. They're trying to do what they can because they think it's easy money. So if they short the sales of it and bet against GameStop, they make money off of it.
Yeah,
but
it's called short selling.
It's called short selling, right? So, like I said, Reddit, and I didn't know Reddit was. I know Reddit is a thing, but apparently they have been paying attention what the hell was going on. Because we're bored at home. We can't go anywhere. Everybody's quarantined. COVID-19 got everybody stuck at home. So everybody became financial stock wizards. So while Wall Street is shorting and betting against GameStop, gamers who are just stuck at the house all day, on Reddit all day, like all day, and they see the stocks getting shorted, they're like, well, we can stop it. We like GameStop. We don't want GameStop to go under. How about all of us, everybody in this Reddit thread, put money in GameStop, boost up the sales, and force them to sell. And apparently this Reddit thread has about 2 million users. Mm-hmm. So that's why the stock shot up so quick. So when the stock shot up and they put all that money into it, Wall Street has to sell. Otherwise, they're going to keep going lower and lower.
Well, they have to pay back. They have to pay back what against what they borrowed. See, short selling is short selling is fucked up. Short selling is where you borrow a stock at a higher price and then pay it back at a lower price. See, GameStop was predicted to, they're going bankrupt and shit. So
we've been talking about this for like 2 years now.
Yeah. So like we're gonna short sell GameStop, borrow at whatever they were at, and then when they go low, when the price drops, we'll pay back the money we borrowed. We only have to pay back the price they're at the low price. So it's like someone borrows you $100 and you only have to pay back 50. You get to keep the extra 50.
If I have 3 apples, that
whole
thing there.
That's what short selling is. It's basically inside traders banking on businesses losing money, making money, profiting off of businesses losing money. It's kind of a shitty thing to do.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, since you just brought that up. So if a whole bunch of Reddit users, 2 million Reddit users, decide they're all going to purposely raise the stock on a certain item, wouldn't that be kind of insider trading?
Yeah, it's inside trading. So they basically
that's what I want. That's what I was wondering.
They all started buying stock in GameStop, which raised the price of their shares. So say the people who short sell. See, when I heard about it, GameStop was at $30 a share. Now in a week they're like at $350.
Right.
So that's
so if anybody's trying to get into it, it's too late now.
Yeah. So 320. That's like $320 profits. So if you bought like 1,000 shares of GameStop, you made $320,000 this week.
Right.
But what short sellers did, they borrowed GameStop at $30 and were banking on their price dropping, but it didn't drop. So what they got to do, since they borrowed, they're short sold it, so they borrowed it. Now they got to pay it at 320. They got
to pay their money back, right?
So if you had 1,000, if you short sold 1,000 shares, you have to pay 320.
And that's how they lost $1 billion in like a day and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So that's what's happening, and I think it's hilarious. I don't have that kind. I do some long-term investing, but I've been kind of knew about this stuff, but like I said, I was like, it doesn't really affect me because I don't do any of that inside trading shit. I just long term. I just put my money in.
You don't, Eli. Sure you don't.
I did. And then like a couple days later, when they're talking about the cryptocurrencies and Dogecoin,
because that's the new thing they're doing. That's the thing, because they're moving from company to company, right?
And now all those fucking apps are blocking. I was gonna throw some fucking money at some crypto. I do own some Bitcoin,
right?
I was gonna buy some Dogecoin, but they wouldn't let me. They're saying the market is volatile right now. We're not authorizing sales of any cryptocurrencies until the market settles. I'm like, you fucking rich. But
the government isn't regulating this. The government doesn't care.
No,
it's the apps. The apps are doing it.
Yeah,
like the guy Robin Hood guy.
Yeah. Robin Hood is owned by, was it Citadel Finance or whatever?
Right.
And I saw the other day that they're no longer gonna start publishing their short sell list, because that's how they found out about this shit.
Because it's public information, right?
Yeah, they published these are the companies that are basically gonna fall. So let's short sell and make a bunch of money. Now, and that's how the Reddit users found out. AMC was on that list.
Now the movie business is back in business.
Yeah. So they were blocking a bunch of sales, like a bunch of new buying of share, the purchasing of shares for AMC and a bunch of other companies. But they're not going to publish that list anymore because they watch the government make some law that you can't do this now. No more.
Oh yeah. They can't let this happen because they got to protect those guys, because it's okay when they do it, but when we do it to them, then it's wrong.
Yeah, like short selling. Because I took a class in high school, and we learned all about the stock market. And my team, we won. We basically in this class we got like an imaginary $10,000, and we learned about the stock market. They taught us about it, and we invested in all these companies. And my team, me and my stoner pals, we won out of the school. We made all this money.
You're reminding me of Eddie Murphy and Trading Places.
Trading Places. That's what they did at the end of Trading Places. Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd short sold that, whatever they were doing, the oranges or whatever, the orange juice. Yeah, because they thought the price of orange juices were going to go up.
But they knew, because they had an inside tip.
Yeah, that the fucking that the oranges were going to remain like this. The harvest was good that year, so the price is going to drop. So Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd short sold everybody the orange juice, and that's how they made their fortune, and it put those guys, the Dukes or whatever, out of business at the end of Trading Places.
Who show back up and Coming to America, but that's another thing.
Yeah, that's a shared universe.
Eddie Murphy's cinematic universe.
But yeah, I mean, I like in high school, we had an imaginary $10,000. We invested. They taught us all about how the stock market works and shit. And even back then, we're like short sell. No, that short selling sounds like a dick move. Even back then, I was like, that's a kind of a.
I mean, Eddie Murphy said it. He was like, the shit y'all doing, that's y'all some bookies, basically.
Yeah. But you know what? This was back, like I said, it was an imaginary $10,000.
It's an imaginary $10,000 now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, my team, we bought into Microsoft back in the 90s.
Oh shit! Wow.
And I always think about that. I was like, if that shit was real, well,
you'd be sniffing cocaine off a hooker's ass right now.
This podcast would be like on a beach in Acapulco right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You'd be, and the funny thing is Jordan Belfort, like the real Wolf of Wall Street. Like I said, he's a real guy. He
Yeah.
commented on this whole thing going on right now. He was like, "Yeah, that's the shit we used to do."
Yeah,
Matter of
because
fact, if I'd known these radio was doing, I would have did it.
yeah, because he was doing that illegal that he was like falsely selling shitty stocks to people. He was telling these stocks are good, but they weren't. That's what he was doing. Yeah.
And selling to them and still making money off of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's your financial report for the day.
Invest, yo, invest.
Oh, that's another thing I was going to ask you, Eli. Okay, after all this bullshit that went down, do you think that America, like us, the broke people, are going to start normalizing, financial literacy or stock exchange, anything like that?
I say do it. Yeah, learn how it works and invest, man. And like I said, the inside trading shit, yes, you can make copious amounts of money, but you could also lose it just like that. It's very risky. I don't do any of that shit. I just throw my money in and let it grow for my retirement, for whatever, for an emergency. That's all I'm doing. I started out with a couple hundred, and that's all I did. And I'm just letting it grow. And that, and that's financial security. That's all I'm doing it for. I'm not wheeling and dealing and short selling fucking companies, So I found some companies that I thought that would do well, and they're actually doing good, alternative energy sources and stuff like that. And that's what I invested in. And that's what I did. I did a little research but yeah, I think people should do it. Even if it like tax season, when tax season comes around, don't blow your money on fucking sneakers and dope.
Right.
throw a couple hundred down on some stocks and research stuff.
Do what these guys did. They got the stimulus check and they just put it in,
and just leave it. So it's not for don't think you're gonna, because you have the option of cashing out every quarter, but then you're gonna be broke again.
Right. You start all over again.
So. Yeah. So I just leave it in there. Just leave it in there for a rainy day, for when you really need it, or for your retirement. And that's what my advice to everybody. So
see, we don't just talk comic books on here. We give you financial literacy. We do everything here. But yeah, that's enough for the financial report. Let's go back to some bullshit. So we're still in the Vidja game section. Eli, this what got me excited because I was depressed. Not depressed, but I was upset. I was let down. The Avengers game has actually had no announcements, no movement, anything till Girl Hawkeye came out. Like, remember when we talked about that shit whenever it was?
Yeah.
Okay, they said nothing since then. No new announcement of anything, no new DLC of anything. So I'm thinking, like, did they pull out? I mean, are they done? What the hell's going on? So a couple days ago, they announced the whole Hawkeye Future Imperfect, where Maestro's going to be the main bag and stuff like that. They at least announced a Twitch stream of it on February 18th. And I say this when it's going to come, but they're going to get the announcement of when the stuff's going to come. I'm fine with that. So anybody still invested in the game or want to know what's going on with the game, check on it February 18th. Yes, best believe I will give you some details on it if anybody gives a fuck. I know nobody does, but hey, I do. So
I thought you were going to finally say the Avengers game sucks now.
No, honestly, I was about to. Before this announcement, I was going to say, man, I was going to be like, fuck this game. I'm done with this game. It's an abusive relationship with this game, Eli. So, let's see what we got. All right, so, now I say, can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay, like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and I guess I'm going to first, before we get that, we actually got one thing we got to talk about. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. Because there's a thing going on right now. Like I said, we're in the comic book section right now. So before we get into the comic books, I do want everybody on to go on Marvel.com. Because here's what's going on right now. In the comic books, the last arc of the X-Men storyline was that they were saying, we're going to let the people vote for the X-Men. So I'm thinking, okay, they're going to let the people of Krakoa or the Mutant Island vote for it. No, us, the people, we're going to vote for the X-Men. Yeah, the fans. So we are going to pick who are going to be on the next X-Men roster. So I'm trying to see who is on the team. Let's go to it. Let's see. So here's who you can vote for. I don't know if it's like the last person, the first person. Eli, can you read it? Let me see. Banshee,
Choose
Polaris.
one vote. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Let me try my.
Forge.
We
Boom
got
boom.
Forge, Boom Boom. Oh, Boom Boom. I'm clicking it now. Okay, so I'm about to vote. I'm about to vote right now on the podcast for who I want to be. I think it's like either the first member or the last member. I can't remember, but I'm gonna vote for who I want to be on the X-Men. Eli, who's trying to pick? We got Boom Boom. We got Temple. I don't know the fuck that is.
So what are we doing? To
Cannonball.
be on the council, the Quiet Council?
No, on the X-Men
Oh, to be on the
team.
team.
On the team, yeah, not Quiet Council. The team.
So
We got
Forge isn't on the X-Men? What the fuck?
What? Nah, remember in the Ten of Swords thing, they
No, I
like
didn't read
Magneto
that.
banned the X-Men, and then they were like, "Nah, we're gonna bring the X-Men back." But they're gonna let the people decide, you know. So who we got? Strong guy. Goma voted for strong guy. Marrow, she sucks. Armor, she sucks. Banshee, he sucks. Ain't it's only one choice, man. All right, Eli. Forge your players. Forge your player. Or Boom Boom. I gotta have my Boom Boom. Damn, I like Boom Boom.
You like Boom Boom?
I like Boom Boom.
Yeah. Power wise, I mean, I'm trying to keep it real and back, to
I mean, that's what I'm
back,
saying. I mean, should I
get my
should I
brothers
do it
back
for the
and
culture?
say Forge, but
Should I do it for the culture? That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I don't. You know what?
But his power's stuck. He just builds shit, right?
I mean, yeah, he just builds shit, but he builds some cool shit. Damn it, Eli. I gotta make a choice. I gotta make a choice. We gotta go on with this podcast. Okay. Should I flip a coin? I don't have a coin. Cash doesn't exist anymore. Fuck Wall Street. Oh, damn it. I'm sorry, Eli. I know I gotta do it for the coach, but I gotta pick Magneto's daughter, man. I gotta pick Magneto's daughter. I'm sorry.
Oh, so you're not even going after Boom Boom.
Yeah, I should have went for Boom Boom, but it's Magneto's daughter, man. Even though Magneto probably gonna be the team anyways, you got two people doing the same shit, so I don't know.
So
all right.
It's not an election, it's a fucking hierarchy. I get it.
I know. It was rigged.
Yeah, it's rigged.
Right. Want to recount?
It's royalty, not a democracy.
Nepotism, all stuff like that. Yeah, you just voted because he's Magneto's daughter, but whatever. Okay. Anyway, let's get to the comic books. All right. So, like I said, the first book we're gonna do is X-Men number 17, and of course, it got me on the cover because Storm is on the cover. So I'm like, ooh, okay. But yeah. All right. So what's going on with this book is, oh shit, what's going on? Okay. So like I said, all these X-Men books that Jonathan Hickman makes, they're all like one shots. He can tell like one story and that's it. So what happened again in this story is Professor X and Lalandra's daughter has been kidnapped. Now, Professor X has like a half alien daughter, and she's queen of the galaxy or whatever. Or whatever you want to call it. Like the Shi'ar or whatever. Yeah, she's over that. Yeah, she's over there. So she got kidnapped. So Deathbird, her aunt, Lalandra's sister, whatever like that, she's calling the X-Men, and she's just like, we're trying to do security because we can't let the government know that the queen has been kidnapped. So can we get some X-Men up here to help out with that? And the X-Men just like, yeah, we can help out. And she's like, how fast can you get up here? And here's the thing, she don't know that they already put like like one of those plants up there. So they just walk through that shit. They're like, what the? I thought it was gonna take y'all like months to get here. Like, nah, we're here. So what's the sit rep? And I'm gonna show you a quick picture of it. So we got now Brett Booth does the art on this. I hate Brett Booth. That's just me. He looks so 90s. I was like, yeah. They even wearing the X Factor shit. No, they don't wear that shit anymore. Whatever. I'm nitpicking. Anyway, they go there. They try to look for the people. Jean, they did a side scan on the whole planet. Jean Grey like, maybe y'all didn't do a good enough side scan. So she does her own side scan, and she scans the entire planet. Trying to pick out who could be responsible for kidnapping the queen. And then she like, that guy, he did it. Because she read his thoughts, like she could just feel the hatred he has for the government. So obviously he did it. So he tries to make a run for it. He like, no, you'll never take me alive. And then Cyclops blasts him, and Storm blasts, and like, was that me or you? She's like, I don't know. So they both blast him at the same time. Now here's the bad guy of the story. The bad guy of the story name is Just his name. That's it.
Yeah, that looks mad. Fucking.
That's some 90s shit right
some
here.
Wildcat Cyberforce shit.
Now here's the thing. We ate this shit up back in 90s. We just thought this was just the greatest shit ever. Like this, like, is great. what's Er's first appearance? I don't give a fuck about now. He just looks stupid, he looks comical. He looks funny to me now. But the funny thing is he's got this big hammer and he's threatening, the queen, just like, I killed my brother with this hammer and I do this with all the puppet government, kill them all. What do you have to say? All this shit like that. And that's when the X-Men show up and they threaten him. She's like, yeah, I know the government fucked you over, but we're going to give you one chance. Stand down. We won't do anything. But he keeps coming anyway. You know, where's the scene? Where's the scene? They fight him and all this stuff like that. And I think the fight's already over with. Yeah. So, yeah, they tell him to stop. And then they send a whole bunch of other people. And, yeah, is about to kill the queen. And that's when... Yeah, because that's right. That's him right there. He about to kill the queen. And that's when Storm, like, catches it with her hand or lightning. I don't know what the fuck it is. And she basically tells him, like, I warned you to stop. But since you won't listen, now I got to make an example of it again.
Yeah, like she's blocking
right.
it,
I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, she, like, blocks it with her hand. I'm like, okay. And then she, like, shocks the shit out of him. Or I don't know what the fuck she does, like, lightning or whatever happens, the fight's over. It's done.
Struck him with lightning, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, she like one shots him, and that's it. That's it. So anyway, so like I said, you got the queen right here, Professor X's daughter, and basically, the queen tells Storm, since you did this for me, you get one favor from me. Any favor you want, anytime you ask, I got you. That's how the book ends. So pretty much it. It sold me on a lie, Eli. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is the cover of the book. So, so that's the cover of the book right here. So I'm thinking like we're gonna get some Storm action. Like Storm is about to just go fucking nuts. We get one panel with a one shot in the guy, and that's it. I'm like, why does Marvel keep doing that? They keep making me think I'm gonna get some Storm action, and they just do one thing and then that's it. Now she did do some cool shit in that. What's the Excalibur books? The Excalibur books, she do some cool shit in this, but this. Just Hickman just blue balling me. That's all.
That's like the story with X-Men for me, like my whole life. Like grabbing a cover of X-Men. Oh, this looks awesome. And then reading it like, okay, why is this motherfucker even on the cover? Like,
right. He just walks by, hey, I'm in the background.
Yeah. I like Beast. I remember a little kid and seeing Beast and he looked all gnarly and cool and shit. X-Men featuring the Beast. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then he's like a nerd and fucking scientist and like, what the hell,
like
man?
Like doing chemistry and shit.
Yeah. Fluffy ass teddy bear and shit. I was expecting King Kong and shit, and they gave me a little gerbil.
All right. Oh, anyway, 3.5 out of 5. It was a cool story, but like I said, Hickman just be doing this shit. So yeah. All right. So what you
got? Marvel will do Werewolf by Night.
All right, let's get you set up for that. Boom.
So Werewolf by Night, written by Taboo and B. Earl, art by Scott
Black Eyed Peas. Well, Taboo is for Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, Taboo's. Yeah, he has some native heritage. He just recently found out. So Marvel has given him this book to write. So this is the new Werewolf by Night. His name is Jake Gomez. He is a Hopi teenager living on the reservation, and he becomes a werewolf. He has some family curse that turns him into a werewolf every night, and he basically goes and uses his werewolf powers to fight crime on the res, basically. And this story arc, he finds out this pharmaceutical company has been like kidnapping kids off the res and doing these experiments on them to turn them into like these monster super soldiers. And Red Wolf shows up and at some point and speaks a bunch of medicine man Indian speak about creator and Mother Earth and the sun and the moon and all that shit. And they end up the Life Pharmaceuticals, this company ends up kidnapping Jake's grandma in the last issue. So he went to go find her, and then they captured him. And now we pick up with this issue, and he's in this this tank. They're doing experimenting on, and they're doing it's like the Matrix. They're doing a bunch of experiments on people, on all these native kids off the res. And then he ends up breaking out. All the other monsters end up fucking finding out that this company's been doing this shit to them. So they end up turning on them. And there's, Jake finally breaks out of his containment thing and finds his grandma. And then he teams up with the other monsters, and they end up fighting the soldiers in the lab and escape and expose everything. And then the one woman who's been leading the whole experiment, she turns out she's like some weird cyborg thing she's almost like Krang. Where's that panel? I don't know if I can find that panel. Like Krang from the Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
She her brain is like inside her head, or well, obviously, but like
she got like a robot body or something.
Yeah. Like where is it? Yeah, I don't know if you can see this. Her brain like comes out, and like flies away and shit.
Oh yeah, it is like Crane. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of cool ideas. This was number 4. And that's my problem. I felt like there's so much shit that he was trying to wrap up in this one issue. I think this story arc needed another 2, like another 5 or 6 or even 7 issues.
Well,
or even
I think what he's trying to do, I think he's trying to sell this book as a series.
Yeah, but this was only this arc. Like, I was more interested. I say what they should have did was just do the thing, keep it on the res first, and just do the first story arc about him on the res and establish that world and those characters and what he actually does. But instead, he just crammed all this company kidnapping the kids and the science experiments and all these other monsters that he's fighting and stuff, and it just felt very convoluted and rushed. And then they just wrapped up there's all this cool shit with the brains and shit in the cyborg bodies and robots and all this cool shit, but it just felt like so crammed,
And I think if it gets picked up, he'll explore all that stuff. But basically, he pitched us a pilot. That's what he did.
Yeah. I just think they needed, like, maybe if that was the case, I think they needed to make maybe 1 or 2 more issues.
But see, that's Marvel's business plan now. That's what they're doing with everybody nowadays.
But 4 issues, that's a little short. Like, that's not even a trade. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a trade. That's a trade.
Or that's usually 5 or 6 at least.
I think 4 is the limit. I think 4 is enough.
I think that's the bare minimum. But usually, there's like 5 or 6 issues in a trade.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think they're like, Taboo, we know you're doing with the Black Eyed Peas, but let's see what you do with this. Let's just throw you something, see where we go from that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think he was trying to sell us a pilot, but didn't go the way it went.
So it says his a new series coming from Taboo and B. Earl is this native sorcerer supreme. It's a Ghost Rider and the native sorcerer supreme.
Is this a limited or ongoing?
I don't know. It just says coming this year, and there's the Jeffrey Verigi cover, the native artist who's been doing all the covers. Pretty cool. But
so they got another series. So even though Werewolf by Night and picked, and I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to put Werewolf by Night in it somewhere. Did Jack Russell ever show up?
No.
Really? Damn. Okay.
No.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, it was just pretty much this self-contained story. So yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5. It was okay. Like I said, it was just a lot of cool ideas, but just crammed into this one issue, and then like they were trying to wrap it up real quick. Like, okay, we got 21 pages to talk all this shit. Let's throw it all in here, and
one more issue probably could have got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, at least one. But
we'll see what we do, because I think they probably will make it a trade. I think they will.
Yeah.
So. What do we got? Okay, so next issue we got, well, I guess it's on me. So, where are you? Yeah. Future State number 2, Dark Detective. Or is it Dark Detective?
I didn't even bother with this.
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there with and not all of it, because there was a whole bunch of future shit that was out there, but I was like, I'll deal with this one and see how it goes. Oh man, I didn't do it. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right, so basically what the book is, and I do want to show you this because I thought this was pretty cool. This panel that Jimenez or whatever. That's just a
Yeah.
cool ass panel. That's like the Infinite Frontier, whatever they got going on. I guess that's Robin's new costume, Damien.
Down at the
Has he?
bottom. That
Yeah,
bot.
right there. Has he been in that before?
That's the old League
Like
of
the League of
Assassins.
Assassins? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He was doing that in was it Detective?
okay, I didn't know if he had a suit.
Yeah,
suit
he
or
was
anything
doing
like
that in Detective. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So basically what's going on, okay, like I said, this is future state. Everybody don't know what's future state. This is in the future where Batman technically is dead, but he's back.
But he's not dead.
But he's not dead. But he is dead, you know. So anyway, he's here. He's
That's the only reason why the Black Batman exists.
Well, that's the thing, because we don't know what time this is. I think the Black Batman is 3 years after this Batman.
Okay.
Or some shit. So I don't know what's
some
going on.
shit.
Yeah, but anyway, you got this Batman. He's still hunting down criminals, stuff like that. But hunting down criminals, the magistrate is out there just fucking up people. You know, Batman. But there's a robot. They call them cyber, so they're just robots. So Batman can just wild out on it, just be done with it, be shut up, and be done with it, whatever. Anyway, he has a flashback of when he got shot in the alley by Peacekeeper One. You know, it has a flashback back in like the regular time in DC. We don't know who Peacekeeper One is. Batman got shot. Matter of fact, I think he got shot twice. He got shot in the knee also. Yeah, so he puts a gun on him. He's tracking him down. Batman, we don't know who Peacekeeper is, but he's supposed to be the motherfucker. He's supposed to be the one. He runs for the Gotham Pier. Yeah, honestly, this is an awesome panel now I'm thinking about it. He shoots, like I said, he shoots Bruce Wayne and he just falls. He throws, that's like an explosive batarang, but like takes a while for it to hit. So he jumps in the panel. I'm gonna see if I can just jump to it. Peacekeeper One, like empty bullets at him. But while Bruce is there, he sees another dead body already in the Gotham Pier or whatever, because it's Gotham. They're just dropping bodies just everywhere.
His body's just in there, yeah.
Yeah, just from earlier, you know. So Peacekeeper thinks it's Bruce Wayne and just empties the clip in him, you know, and then just leaves. But no, that's when the explosive battering blows up in his face. So, yeah, so we see Bruce Wayne later on. He's just chilling. He climbs out of the pier after Peacekeeper One's left, sitting there trying to find the next move. And I guess that's when he goes to the guy and, you know, use all his money to patch himself up. And that was like 2 years ago. So this is 2 years later. And now he's Batman. He says he still feels the pain from when Peacekeeper One fucked him up. But he also says, I think what happened is that Peacekeeper One or the Peacekeepers wiped him from, you know, from the system. So like basically like Bruce Wayne doesn't exist. His fingerprints don't exist. Nobody knows who he is. He can just go wherever he wants to. He makes a new name for himself. I think he says his name is Joe Mark. I think his name is Joe Mark now. And this conspiracy theory dude that won't let any cell phones in, won't let any computers in, because the magistrate is monitoring all electronic stuff. They monitoring all social media stuff like that. That's why in that Black Batman book, that's why he couldn't use the cell phone, because if he picked it up, the magistrate would know who he is. So yeah. Same thing with this guy. So he goes there. Matter of fact, his bat bike isn't even a bat bike. It's that guy's bike. He just bought from him, you know, by giving him some shit. And he's trying to put the piece together, find out who is Peacekeeper One. And apparently it's these three companies, Plexitech, DraftTech, and Neocorp. All of them stole tech from Wayne Tech to make the magistrates. So he's like, I'm about to go investigate these guys right now, follow the money, you know. Let's see, like I said, that's that bike we got right there. And that's, like I said, it's not a bat bike. It's just a regular ass bike that he just
chopper, baby.
Yeah, it's a chopper. He just ride around with it. Like I said, it's that guy's bike. So that's all he got. No Batmobile, none of that shit. That's it. And so, what should happen with? Yeah. Oh, anyway, going to the end of it, he finds out that there are invisible, like nanobot robot bumblebees that are all over the city, and he realized how long these things been around here. Obviously, that's how the magistrate found out who I am and every other vigilante in the city. That's how they know. And when he knocks on the door, that's when that dude's door, that's when the magistrate is coming for him. And yeah, to be continued. There's also a Red Hood story. I'm just going to fly through that one. Red Hood works for the magistrate. So, yeah, so that's his thing. So he works for the magistrate. But at the end of the story, he gets put on the magistrate list. How? We don't know. But anyway, that's book.
That's looking mad, Akira.
It has a feel to it. Like, I'm gonna show you this last panel. That last panel is what got me. Oh yeah, Ravenger. She find like there's a Red Hood out there. She cuts the dude in half.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. She's like, what the fuck you do that for? She's like, that's what we do. You see half of them over here, half of them over there. You're like, damn, okay. She's like, are you ready for dinner? You know. But anyway, that, oh yeah, that bike, man. Yeah. I didn't even think about it till you said it, Eli.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got another Wonder Woman panel here, right here. So overall, it's keeping my attention. Like I said, these future state books are hit or miss, but it was cool. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Cause they give you just enough morsels. I didn't read any other future shit. They had a whole bunch of other stuff. I was like, fuck it. I don't care what happens to Lex Luthor in the future. We'll move on past that. So yeah.
All right.
So
Well, I got Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 9.
cool. Let me get you set up for that.
So in this, we have Valance. He is like a cyborg dude. Kind of like looks like the Terminator. He's a bounty hunter. This is the second story arc in the series. He basically saved the heir to this like crime family that all the bounty hunters are after. Boba Fett, Bosk, all his old crew were after this heir to this crime syndicate. Turns out he ended up saving her, and he brought her to the Rebel Alliance to look after her. And now the Rebel Alliance says, okay, well, you got to help us smuggle. So last issue, they got like ambushed by a bunch of space pirates. So we pick up here. He basically bands up with the rebels and fights the space pirates. We learned some things about, Tonga's still alive. We thought she was dead. She's part of his old crew. She's still alive. And basically at the end, he takes an X-Wing and goes out and fucks up the pirates and basically escapes. But it turns out the pirates are working with Dengar. I don't know if you remember who Dengar is.
I don't.
He is one of the bounty hunters. He was in Empire. He's like the guy with the wrap around his head.
Okay.
And he's like he's after. Let's see. Do I have a panel with him? Yeah, this guy. Go. Come on. Comixology. Come on. Panel by panel. Okay, keep going. Okay, this guy.
Let me see. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, that's Dengar. He's a bounty hunter. He's after Valance and the crime syndicate heir. So he, working with the pirates, and that's where it says to be continued. So this one was a little kind of a little filler story. Not much happened, but it's still just fun old fashioned gangster crime shit in the Star Wars universe, and I'm digging this book. So I give it a 4 out of 5. Art's still cool, a lot of cool action, gangster shit with Star Wars. So there you go.
All right. Can't beat that. All right. Shoot. Next book I'm going to do is Shang-Chi, number 5.
Shang-Chi came out?
Yeah.
Really? No. Damn it.
Oh, yeah. It came out.
What the hell? I did not get that. What the hell? Comixology? Did we get it buried in the thing or what?
Well, I guess it wasn't like a popular seller because it wasn't like in the top 10 or anything like that. You had to like look for it.
Shit.
Yeah,
I would have totally read this.
Yeah. Sorry, but all right. I guess I got to spoil it for you. I'm sorry. All right. So what happens basically, like I said, this is the finale. This is it. So you got Sister Hammer. She got her undead vampires attacking London, and they're just fucking up all kind of shit. They shooting them. It don't matter. Sister Hammer's even like spinning the hammer, blocking the bullets, like Thor's and shit like that. And you're like, nah, this shit ain't gonna work. Smacking him around, and he's like, what are we gonna do? We can't stop them. And then of course, that's when boom, Shang-Chi, Sister Dagger, and Brother Spear, I think. I can't remember which one he is. Anyway, his family, his brother and sister show up, and they jump out of like a Asian helicarrier. I gotta show you the helicarrier in a second. But anyway, they know how to beat the vampires. They got like these special amulets with this priest. As long as the priest slaps chicken blood on the amulet, he can kill the vampires, And his sister like, hey, brother Hand, that's your girlfriend, the spy girlfriend or whatever. I didn't know she was 13. They say she's 13 in the book. So, and she's just
Oh,
like killing people left and
oh, the
right.
little one, yeah,
The
yeah,
little one, yeah.
yeah.
So, and that is their helicarrier. Their I didn't know they had that.
Oh, like
I
a
don't know where it came
dojo
from.
helicarrier,
Yeah,
a
like a
hella
dojo helicarrier.
dojo.
Like, okay, 'cause that's where they jumped out of. It's just like, okay, because they got the priest on board, and he's been the one that's just making those. He's just writing on the amicus since he's a priest. As long as he write on it, they can use it to kill those vampires. So then they go looking for Sister Hammer. Sister Hammer shows up. But here's the thing. Remember that wound that he's got?
Yeah.
Now it's starting to affect him. Shang-Chi is starting to turn to the vampires. So the same thing she's telling the vampires, it's starting to affect him now. She's like, well, brother, what you doing? And then she realized that she smacked shit out of him and realized, oh, you turned into a vampire. You can do what I say. Okay, kneel before Sister Hammer, or whatever like that. And matter of fact, beat the shit out your brother and sister. So he like, and with this, he said he held back. He like, I did everything I could to not hit them, and hit them one punch, just knocked them across the room. They're like, oh shit. But then he does something, and he like takes her to the spirit plane or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to the spirit plane. He realizes those vampires. He like what affects those vampires, because she's doing like some microchip shit to turn them all to vampires. She like, they're linked to some kind of pain from somewhere, but I know they don't have all the pain. They're linked to your pain. That's what it is. And I know what your pain is. Let me go find your pain. So they go to basically the time when, she hit her dad. She always get abused by whatever the dude's name was. She smacked him. She smacked him one time, and he made her pay for it for the rest of her life. And he was like, "Are you smiling when you smacked him?" We're like, "Nah, it ain't that I'm angry at him. I hate him, but I love him. But I can't tell the difference." And that's kind of the whole point of what's going on. Like I said, his uncle told him in the astral plane, like, the reason that wound won't heal from that vampire bite is because you got left wounds with your family that haven't healed yet. Once you heal these wounds with your family, then you'll be fine. And once and then he like makes her realize who he is. Like, he ain't this big. It's like Devil Hulk, like that. Like Hulk is scared of his dad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like that. So she keeps staring at. She's afraid of her father, and Shang-Chi is trying to show you. I'm gonna show you what he really looks like. He's an old man. He's feeble. He's weak. He's nobody. There's no reason for you to be afraid of him. And then when she stops being afraid of him, she's just like, oh, damn, okay. So you made me not have a purpose anymore, because I always did this for my dad, but now you took away my one purpose. So he just dodging the shit. And he punches the hammer, breaks the hammer. He's like, look, we done with this fighting shit. We're done. And then like his girlfriend, Ling Wu, whatever her name is, she pulls a gun on Sister Hammer, and Shang-Chi's like, no, stop. And she fires the bullet, and Shang-Chi catches the bullet.
Oh, I was gonna say with his teeth.
Not with his teeth. It would have been cool with his teeth, but catch it with his index finger. He just catches the bullet. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, and then she like in shame. She like this. She hops over a bridge, jumps in the water, disappears, never see again. Whatever. Okay. And so he goes back to that old lady he worked with, like in the first issue. He was like, yeah, I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. I had some family issues, had to take care of that. Matter of fact, I gotta quit. I gotta go back with my family. She's like, I get it, I understand. You take care of family first. And then his niece shows back up, and he's like, why ain't you call me Shang-Chi? He's like, look, my family has been a secret agent spy just recruited me to fight my evil family that was inducted by a Chinese cult trying to take over the world. We not gonna work out. I'm sorry. Oh, really? Well, my last client, because I'm a lawyer, my last client head caught on fire. I'm a superhero lawyer. See, don't judge. See, if you just asked me about this shit, we would have took care of this ahead of time. But since you want to prejudge somebody, I tell you what, here's my number. Call me whenever you get your family shit straightened out. She's like, oh, okay. So now, like I said, he's head of the house. I was like that. He's big brother hand, or whatever like that. And that's it. He like, I'm going to take over the family, but y'all going to do the shit the right way. There's all this taking over the world shit. We're done with that. So So you got Brother Spear, Sister Dagger. That's it. But there's an epilogue. There's an after credit scene.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like I said, after the party, they get drunk, shit like that. Brother Spear just drunk off his ass. Sister Dagger's like taking him, and then that's when the thing lights up. You know, the thing lights up. He like, and then his father shows the ghost of his father shows that who like, you finally did exactly what I wanted you to do all those years. You're finally becoming me. Now that's the anime shit I was looking right there. He's definitely like Goku right there. You know? Yeah, but say like this year, Return to Shang-Chi. So yeah, basically this was also a pilot. You know, they sold the show. So
At least that got 5 issues.
they got 5 issues. Yeah, that's all we wanted. So yeah, overall, this was a strong series. I loved every issue about it. I like how it had like a mess. It tied it all up at the end. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Marvel's Bruce Lee's unstoppable. That's all he's ever been. But he catching fucking bullets, man. What the fuck? You know, so yeah, I like how they tied everything back together. They basically and it made it back about family. You got into some ancient Chinese history, even though they marvelized it. It was just an awesome series, man. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I gotta read. I just saw it. I just picked it up now. Now I gotta read it now.
okay. So like I said, y'all want recommendations from us? Look, the trade I think is available like next week. Like the whole trade, the entire trade. So if y'all want to read an awesome comic, we're giving you a recommendation. Read the Shang-Chi trade. It comes out, I think, next week. You get it for a good price. You know,
Yeah.
5 issues. Quick read. You'll have fun with it. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So yeah, what you got?
I got this Post Americana #2,
Cool.
and this was my book of the week.
All right.
This is just a lot of fun. Art and story by Steve Scrocchi.
I think I heard
He
the name
worked.
before.
Yeah, he worked on the Matrix. He worked on the Matrix.
That's why I heard that name before. Okay.
Yeah, he did like conceptual designs for the Matrix, storyboarding and stuff like that. So this is his like political allegory, futuristic, apocalypse tale. We have the Earth has been devastated, and inside this mountain are like the 1% who live in this mountain and have made it this paradise inside this mountain. And then some fascist asshole leader becomes president, and then there's like a rebel force that are like that want to fight for independence. Last issue, they escaped the mountain and they went out into the wastelands, and they're trying to basically start a revolution. Get the outside world to fight this fascist asshole. But the outside world is all fucked up with cannibal gangs and shit. They get captured. He hooks up with this one chick who's like been out in the wasteland all her life, and she's a badass like warrior, basically the female Mad Max, just a badass chick. And they get captured by this cannibal gang, and they have to fight. They end up fighting to get out. Turns out she has. Where's that panel? The art is dope in this. Whoops. Yeah. So this panel here, turns out she's got no arms or legs.
Whoa, what the fuck? I wasn't ready for that. Okay.
Or her arms or legs. Yeah. The art, this is not for kids. This is very violent and gory and brutal. So yeah, her arms, she has cybernetic arms. Her cybernetic arms have their own AI. So where's that? Yeah. So basically, she ends up taking her, hacking into her limbs, and they come to life, and they start flying towards her and shit. And they end up kicking ass and escaping, and getting out and escaping this cannibal gang and shit. So yeah, it's just really violent and brutal, but it's got a political message against fascism. Very timely sort of message in our day, in today's climate. And the art is cool. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. This is a great book, I think. So yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm booked out, so that's all I had.
Oh really?
I wasn't reading. I wasn't reading more future state shit. So
okay. I picked up the Dune graphic novel.
The big
book
boy.
1.
Okay.
Yeah. This is book 1. I recently read.
It is. It is 6.6. Yeah.
Yeah, I recently read the Dune novel, the first book in the Dune series by Frank
Mm-hmm.
Herbert. Um, Devoured it. I dug on it. I'm glad I waited till I was older so I could better understand. Had I not seen the movie a bunch of times, I probably would have not have gotten it as much as I did. Um, but this book is basically another political allegory about not blindly following a messiah or a demagogue. You know,
That's timely.
yes. So in an age of Trump, where people think that someone's just going to come and solve all their problems,
Right.
don't do that. you
Right.
you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. That's basically the message in Dune. The movie got it all wrong. They turned Paul Atreides into a savior. He's not a savior. He is not a messiah. In fact, the very idea of religion is Dune is a form of control. So basically, this book, it's the first volume. This is only a third of the first book.
Now,
See,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How
okay,
accurate is it to the novel?
this is pretty close.
Okay.
Pretty close to the novel. So if you've never read the book and you just want to read the comic, yes, pick this up because it's pretty close, pretty accurately adapted. But the book is broken up into 3 sections. This is only the first section. So this isn't the whole book. And in fact, when did it say? Next year, spring 2020 will be book 2.
Hell, the movie will be out by then.
Yeah. So basically, for those who don't know what Dune is a futuristic sci-fi tale. Takes place like 10,000 years into the future. Humans are now flying through space. There is this planet called Arrakis or Dune, which holds the spice melange. Spice is essential for space travel. The only way you can travel through space is through spice. And on this planet, there is an indigenous population called the Fremen who live on Arrakis and deal with basically the governments trying to colonize this planet and take their natural resource. Yes, environmentalism. That's another big theme in this book. You know, exploiting the environment. Water is like the most precious source on this planet. So the first book introduces Paul Atreides. He's basically the product of this breeding program from the Bene Gesserit sisterhood, who are like they're like Jedi nuns, basically. They're these psychic nuns, and they've been secretly manipulating the government for like generations. And because they've been like, that's what they do. They breed the best bloodlines together so they can, marry into prestigious noble families so they can control the wealth, essentially. And Paul is a part of that. Now, Paul's father, he's from the house Atreides. They get tasked to go to Dune or Arrakis to take over the spice production. But then all the other houses or government, they line up against him and take him out. And so this was written in the 60s. So there's a lot of political comparisons to Dune or Arrakis and the spice is like oil, and the Fremen are like the Arabic people. So everybody's after this oil, which is essential to travel. And that's commerce. Like nothing works without the spice. There's no commerce. There's no travel because you need spice to travel. Now, in this future, computers are illegal. There's no more computers. There's human computers called mentats, human beings that only deal with logic and no emotion. So there's your Vulcan, Star Trek.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. and there's the Spacing Guild. The Spacing Guild, the navigators, they're the ones who use the spice to psychically travel through space. They've mutated into these big giant brain beings, and they just basically, that's how you travel through space. They psychically use their mind to, get people for space travel. And they're just this big brain things, and they've mutated because they've used the spice. So in the book, House Atreides is teaching their soldiers how to fight like the Bene Gesserit witches, the nuns. And the Emperor feels threatened that his army is going to be better than the Emperor's army. So again, this is like an arms race. So they're like, okay, the Atreides soldiers are going to be like the dopest army in the universe. Well, we all got to band together and get them out of there. So again, it's all armed, political, intrigue. This first book,
even back then when they wrote it. So
yeah. And so this first book is just not a lot of action in this first book. It's just all introducing the world, the people, the political climate of the time, and the espionage and intrigue. It's like a James Bond thing. There's a dinner scene in here that's kind of like the dinner scene in Casino Royale, and I don't know why it's not in the movie, because that was like a very pivotal scene in this book. Why it's not in the movie, I don't know. There's a bunch of
new one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit in the books that aren't in the movies. I'm like, this is so essential to the fucking story. I don't know why it's not in the movie. I think because David Lynch was too busy trying to be weird and shit, and he missed the whole point. Yeah, because that's the thing. He turned Paul into a messiah, and Paul is not a messiah. He is not like King Arthur. This is not a hero's tale. It's not like King Arthur or Luke Skywalker. Dune is pretty unfillable. Hope the new attempt. Yeah, even Jodorowsky's Dune, he was going to make Paul a messiah, who was going to
so it would have been the same thing.
It would have been the same thing. Yeah. They're missing the point. The point is about
Hollywood doesn't really know how to tell any other type of story, though.
Yeah, the thing with the movies, though, and that's what kind of bums me out. The movie was going to be broken up into two. They were going to break the book up into two movies, which could probably work. However, with this whole HBO Max thing, and Dune probably is going to bomb. The second movie,
I think the people that made Dune, I think they got into it where I don't think it's going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah, well, whatever. Either way, the second part hasn't even been greenlit yet.
Oh, because they want to see what this does.
So we don't even know if the second one's even going to be made, which is kind of a shame. Because I've been looking at the trailers and reading about it. It sounds like they were really trying to like be faithful to the book. And I guess there was a sci-fi movie on the Sci-Fi Channel that was pretty faithful, but it was like a TV movie, so it suffers from the TV budget.
Right.
But this basically this first novel or this first volume introduces the world and the Bene Gesserits and what's going on with the family and how all the other kingdoms are lining up against House Atreides. And I really dug it. The only other thing I can critique, and this is just nitpicky thing, there's nothing wrong with the art. The art is great. I just think that this book is very cerebral, and deals with psychic, powers and shit. That I wish the art was a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more stylized maybe, because this is just very straightforward. It's very straightforward art. And maybe that's a good thing. Like if you've never read Dune or know what Dune is, maybe the straightforward art style will work. It just tells the story. So, but after reading the book and just a fan of the story, I just wish the art was a little bit more trippy. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like I'm saying, like the whole point of this story is not to blindly follow a charismatic leader. And Paul is aware of this. Paul knows that. See, okay, if there's anything anybody needs to remember about the Dune series is the Missionara Protectiva. That is something the Bene Gesserit nuns, they went around throughout the galaxy planting myths and prophecies throughout all these planets as an insurance policy. If ever one of them was stranded on a planet and the primitive culture captured them, then they can just say, oh, I'm a Bene Gesserit and I'm from the prophecy. And they'll kind of like how C-3PO controls the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. They just thought he was a god. That was planted deliberately throughout the universe. So this whole religion, like I said, religion is just a bunch of myths that's used to control and manipulate the world. And Paul is aware of this. So when they think he's this Messiah, when the Fremen think he's this prophet that's come to save them, he knows that he's not, but he's still using them because he's foreseen the future. And there's this holy war coming that's going to be waged in his name. And he's trying to stop it. So he's trying to prevent this war from happening. Again, this was written in the 60s. He's trying to band together a revolution to prevent a war. That's the hippie movement right there. Right. So like I said,
I'm pretty sure it's allegory to something. So
yeah, this is all just a political allegory. And it goes pretty deep. So I'm digging on it. And yeah, this book, if you want to check out, just get introduced to the world, check out this, the graphic novel, book 1. It is only the first third of the book, though, of the novel. so yeah, that's basically what I spent my time this week doing. Yeah, you can get through, a couple hours. You can get through this in a couple hours, because it's a graphic novel. It's like 150 pages. So what is that? Like 7, 8 issues? Like 6, 7, 8 issues.
Yeah. Fly through that. That's Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Right.
Yeah, you'd be done within an hour or two. Instead of if you don't want to read the novel, because the novel is thick. It's pretty dense. So.
Right. So
and that's it. I'm all booked out. Sorry for the going off.
No. Like I said, I don't know about the Dune. This is all Greek to me, so it's good that I can find out about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, we broke down a whole lot of stuff on this episode. You got to find out financial literacy. You got to find out about Dune, the thing that pretty much invents science fiction, everything else. Yeah. So like I said, definitely check it out. Check us out next week. We'll have more stuff coming up. We don't know what's going to happen. Weird stuff happens all throughout the week, and we'll talk about it then. And go check out the other podcasts we have. We got This Geeks and Comics. We got OK Boomer. We got, I think that's it.
Creators Corner. What's it? Creators Box.
Creators Corner. Yeah. They go in 4 hours. We don't do that. They'll go.
How the hell does he find all these motherfuckers too? He
I don't know, man. It's just you build it, they will come. I guess I don't know. Get Valiant. They're back on it. So I don't know.
Oh, right,
I ain't seen Gomer in a while. I mean, not Gomer. Ogre in a while.
Eric,
yeah.
Ever since the website crashed, we haven't done our Riddle of Steel because they were putting it out. So
I mean, but he ain't even done Get Valiant. Like they still do it, and he's nowhere around.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Put out APB on him or something. I don't know. Yeah. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.